I wanted to talk about something that I saw today. All right. Now, we all heard Aaron Rodgers yesterday and the nonsense of that fool. But what do you think of Jeff Okudah's friendly fire? This is coming from the safety coach, Brian Duker, on Jeff Okudah's friendly fire. He knocked out two teammates, even though Julian came back into the game. This is coming from Duker. He says, friendly fire is going to happen on defense. We're not taking the dial back on that one. So meaning that we're just going to keep playing like they're playing. So I got some thoughts on that. I agree and I disagree. I agree because as we saw in Hard Knocks, what Deuce Staley was saying about you don't want to change a guy's play. You want to let him play his game, right? So I can agree with that. But where I disagree with is you have to some extent, be protective of your teammates, right? And Jeff Okuda was laying people out. Now, there's been some talk in the offseason when Jeff Oukdah was entering his third year before we saw any action and how he was going to be coming off that Achilles, right? How was he going to be? And should Jeff Oukdah be moved to safety? I even made a video about it on my other channel. Well, the Lions didn't do that. But I tell you what, Jeff Okuda has been playing like a safety this year. In the box a lot, making a bunch of tackles, and he was hitting people like a safety. He looked like Quandre Diggs out there. Quandre Diggs would lay you out. And that's who he reminds me a lot of as far as his physical, the way he's been playing so physical. He's definitely the most physical corner that we have. Nick says Elliott could have gotten that fumble if Okuda wasn't jumping on him. Yeah, that was tough because that would have sealed the game right there. So do you agree or disagree with the assessment from Brian Duker regarding the friendly fire from Jeff Okuda? It was hard for me to see because he completely missed the guy he was aiming for and took his own teammates out. In my opinion, while you don't want to change the man's game, he has to be smarter because he took out Kirby Joseph. And Kirby Joseph won NFC Defensive Player of the Week. NFC, the man that won NFC Defensive Player of the Week was taken out by his own teammate in a play that didn't have to happen. It wasn't like an offensive lineman who gets rolled up under a tackle as he's blocking. It was the way that Kirby Joseph may have been lost for the upcoming game, because we don't know yet if he's going to be allowed to play and how effective he's going to be. That could have been avoided, right? So I agree and disagree. While you don't want to change the man's game, he has to be smarter. Jake says, so who will replace him at corner? Plus, who's on the opposite side because Amani ain't it? We would have to draft somebody. They're probably not going to do that. But then again, they could. They really could. But Jeff has been playing solid as a corner as well. He gets burned. DK Metcalf destroyed him. And he got burned a couple times last week, right? But we saw Will Harris, who was drafted, I want to say a safety, right, and was moved to cornerback. So I could see that happening with Okuda. Now, wouldn't it be something if Jeff Okuda got moved to safety and was a dog? That would be something to see. If Jeff Okuda got moved to safety and was a straight dog, I think if you get top 3 pick value at safety, I think that's not a bust. But I think Jeff Okuda has to be smarter. He has to be smarter. Did you see how? Yes. Yeah, we saw that. I saw that. David says, I disagree because you can end someone's life or career by friendly fire. He hit Okuda like he owed him some money. I think he hit, yeah, that's right. Because Okuda, he's the one. You're right. He's the one. He didn't touch the defender at all. Just laid Julian out. I think he has to be smarter. And I think as the safety coach, I understand what he was getting at. Maybe he should have worded it a little differently. He's basically saying we're not taking the dial back on that one. And the way he said it, it's kind of like, do you care? You lost two of your own players, one who was game changing and could be game changing against Justin Fields, right? Who, let's be honest, we got to worry about more of his feet than his arm. And you're saying that we're not going to dial back. I think some smarter words could have been said. So let me know, do you think that Brian Duker, the safety coach, saying that they're not going to dial it back when it comes to friendly fire, do you agree or disagree with that notion?